All right. Hopefully this is going out okay. We shall see. Game 144. But I lied just a little bit because we haven't finished game 143 yet. And the reason we haven't finished game 143 yet is because it's going extra innings. I tried to do an upload recording, but my timer ran out in the bottom of the 11th or top of the 11th. So we're going to finish up the top of the 11th, or sorry, the bottom of the 11th here in game 143 and then move straight on to game 144. The Sox, to recap what's happened here in game 143, the Twins jumped out to a 7-1 lead. It looks like it was all over. But then all of a sudden, 5 runs in the 9th by the Sox, capped off by a home run from Oscar Gamble and a pinch hit home run from Henry Cruz, tied the game at 7, sent us to extra innings. But a 2-base error by Jim Spencer in the top of the 11th was the key, and that has caused the score to now be 9-7. So now we're ready to go to the bottom of the 11th. Ron Schuler had already pitched the 10th, so he's scheduled to probably get the win. Laren LeGros would take the tough loss because of the unearned runs. And due up for the Sox, it's Alan Bannister, followed by Brian Downing, and then Ralph Garr. So last chance for the Sox, or it's Katie bar the door and lose a good opportunity. Here's Bannister, 5-3 for Bannister against Schuler. That's a fly ball right field X. That's Disco Dan. And Disco Dan, 3-E11, so could drop in. You never know. 3-18, though, he'll get to that. E11. E11 and an 11. Let's check the outfielders for E11 and an 11. And we have no error, so it's good play. Good play for Disco Dan. 1 away here in the bottom of the 11th. And now here's Ralph Garr. 3-7, that's a strikeout. So Garr strikes out. 2 down, and now it's up to Brian Downing. Last chance for the Sox, or else they're going to go down 4-9 against Schuler. That's an in-home run chance. He does have normal power, so 1-14 would be a home run for Brian Downing. And he gets it, a home run. It cuts the lead now to 9-8 on the home run by Brian Downing, so it's not over yet. Game 144 will be next, but this is the conclusion of game 143. Here's Chet Lemon. I'm sorry, it should be Ralph Garr, not Chet Lemon. I got them out of order. Where did Ralph Garr go? How did I lose Ralph Garr? He's buried somewhere. There he is. There he is. Ralph Garr, the batter. Actually, Ralph Garr batted out a turn there and struck out. And it should have been Downing's at bat, so that got screwed up. So to be fair, I want to move this strikeout up to here where it should have been. So Ralph Garr did strike out, just kind of batted out a turn to do so. But that's not Ralph Garr's fault, that's my fault. All right, so Chet Lemon, last chance for the Sox. Whoops, last chance for the Sox. 2-11, struck him out, ball game's over. So through all that fiasco, the Twins hang on to win it by the score of 9-8. Winning pitcher was Ron Schuler. The loser was Laren LeGros, and the big, like I said, the big play was the 2-base error by Jim Spencer that brought in those 2 unearned runs. And now we get set to play game 144 against those same Twins. So now we can update Chicago's record is now 75-68. And the Twins improved to 77-67. And game 144 will be commenced very shortly as soon as they get the cards all set up and get the lineups. The pitching matchup is Paul Thormesgaard, a right-hander for the Twins, and he'll be opposed by Francisco Barrios, another right-hander for the Sox. So Thormesgaard and Barrios will be your pitching matchup. There's Thormesgaard, and we'll get Barrios here in a second. Let's look at the lineup for the Sox. It'll be Lyman Bostock to lead things off. He'll be followed by Roy Smalley and Rod Carew, who's hitting well over 400. Glenn Adams is the left fielder hitting cleanup. Butch Weiniger, the catcher, will bat 5th. Rich Childs in right field will hit 6th. Randy Bass, my bad. Randy Bass, a rare player, is going to be starting for the Sox. I've got a computer printout of him. So he is there as the DH. Mike Cubbage is at third, and Bob Randall's at second. So that's the Twins in their lineup. Let's look at the Sox lineup. It'll be Ralph Garr leading off in left, Chet Lemon in center, Orta at second, Gamble is in right, Spencer, trying to shake off that error, is at first. Royal Stillman is the DH, so we'll bring out Royal Stillman. Alan Bannister is your shortstop. Don Kessinger plays third base. And Brian Downing is your catcher. I'm sorry, Jim Essien is your catcher. Not bad on that. And Francisco Barrios will get the start for the Sox. Francisco Barrios. And Barrios comes into this game with a season replay record of 10-12 with a 4.40 ERA for Francisco Barrios. All right, so let's get everything hopefully in place here. Francisco Barrios, the batter. Francisco Barrios. See what he can do. You know what? I'm thinking I set this thing up as... There's nobody here, is there? I set this thing up, I think, on just an invite instead of a general to the whole world. So I think I'm going to reboot this and move on. So let's stop this and redo. I mean, somebody else is here. Somebody got here. So maybe this did go out publicly. I wasn't sure if it did or not. So I'll keep it going then. Okay, just want to make sure. I wasn't sure how I set this thing up. You never know when I'm doing these things. Sometimes I hit the wrong button. But we're ready for game 144. Francisco Barrios against Paul Thornesgaard. Leading off for the Twins will be Lyman Bostock. And game 144 will be underway in a few seconds. Trying to catch my breath from playing game 143 that went 11 innings, with the Twins winning in extra innings by the score of 9-8. Sox got 5 in the 9th to tie it and send it to extra innings, but a two-base error by Spencer in the 11th is what did them in. All right, so Lyman Bostock will lead things off. He checks into the game with a record of batting average of .353, 9 homers, and 89 runs driven in. So Bostock to lead us off against Barrios. Game 144 underway. That's a 4-4 against Barrios. That's ground ball third base X. That is Soderholm. He's a 2-E11. 2-18, he'll get to that. E11. E11 and a 7 should be good all day long. Let's double check it. E11. Yep, 6 is an error, but not a 7, so it's good play for the third baseman. That's actually Kessinger. My bad. I gotta redo that because that's Kessinger. And Kessinger at third base. I was thinking it was the guy in the previous game, which was Soderholm. This is actually Kessinger, and he's a 3E50, so that's even worse. So a 3-18, he'll still get to it, and a 7 on the E50. Let's see if that's going to be an error. Probably will, knowing him. E50. Nope, 7's still not an error, so he does make the play, but I just got to be careful with that. That's Kessinger, but he's an awful 3E50 at third base, so got to really watch out for that. But that's good play. Start us off. Here's Smalley. I'm still shaking from the first game that emerged straight into this one. 4-7. If you're coming in late, you can go back to the beginning of the video and catch the end of the first game of this doubleheader. 4-7 against Barrios is a 1-7 single. And 8-20 lines to second. That's a liner right to the second baseman, Orta, who snags it for out number 2. That brings up Rod Carew, and of course Rod Carew hitting .413, 18 homers, 105 runs driven in, 120 runs scored. So he's doing it all. 6-10 against Barrios for a lefty. It's a fly to right, so they do get Carew to end the inning, and that's going to do it. So 1-2-3 inning for Barrios, and they need it too after getting shelled early on in the first game. Here is Paul Thornesgaard for the Twins, and Thornesgaard having a rough season in the replay, 8-18 with a 4.71 ERA, so not very good. He's having his issues. Ralph Garr to lead things off for the Sox, and Garr checks in 282, 7 home runs, and 51 runs driven in. Hello, RJL. How are you? All right, we've got a 2-8 for Ralph Garr, and that's a ground ball right back to Thormasgard. One away. Brings up Chet Lemon, and Chet Lemon checks in, hitting .266, 13 homers, 67 driven in. That's a 2-4, and that's all these hits in column 2 up the top, and he found this ground ball to second. So Bob Randall will put that away. 2 up, 2 down for George Orta, and Orta on the replay, hitting .277, 12 homers, and 64 driven in. That's a 4-7, and that's a single for George Orta, solid single for George Orta. He will not go anywhere. He will not be held. We will check on the D20, see if anything's going on. It's not. Here's Oscar Gamble. 3-10 for Gamble, and that's a foul out to Weiniger behind the plate to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Sox. Same as the Twins. No score after 1. As we try to get some semblance of order here after that rough first game. Game 143 was a doozy, and that'll come out on video later because it was a recording. Anyway, at least through the 10th inning. Then the 11th inning will be in the front of this video. All right, so Glenn Adams to lead things off for the Twins, and Glenn Adams checks in. 305, 1 homer, 34 ribbies. 5-7 against Barrios. That's a strikeout rather. I was looking at 4-7. 5-7 is a straight old strikeout. So Barrios rings him up. Brings up Butch Weiniger, who's catching both games. Wait, it's not a doubleheader. They're just playing consecutive games. In my world, they're playing them both today, but these are September 12th and September 13th games, so no problem there. 269 average, 10 homers, 67 driven in. It's a 3-11 for Weiniger, and he's going to foul it out to the catcher Essien for out number 2. Brings up Rich Julia Childs. See what he's got cooking. He is hitting .281, 3 homers, and 31 driven in. 5-7 struck him out. Barrios on a roll. Retired all 6 he has faced. Good sign for the Sox to have Barrios pitch effectively. They need that. Need to win this game to split the first 2 games of the series. Here's Jim Spencer, still shaking his head from that big error in the previous game. All right, it's a 1-8 for Spencer. He grounds to first. Carew will put it away easily. 1 down for Royal Stillman, the DH. 1-7, and he's going to fly to center. That's handled easily by Mr. Bostock. And it's 2 up, 2 down for Alan Bannister, the shortstop. 6-5 for Bannister, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Bannister's out of there. All right, 2 innings in the books and not a thing going on offensively. We go to the third, and it'll be Randy Bass. And, of course, I've got a computer cutout card of him because he had such few at-bats. He only had 19 at-bats, hit 105 for the season, so he doesn't get carded by Strat. But on the computer, which I have, I was able to do a snip tool and print this off. So Randy Bass on the replay, he has not hit yet. This is his first game he's ever played in for the Twins, so his first and only chance maybe. 5-5, he's a lefty. And he'll actually draw a walk against Barrios. So how about that? The first guy to reach is Randy Bass. Go figure. All right, Mike Cubbage. 9-0 on the 20. Mike Cubbage checking in. Cubbage, 290, 13 homers, 57 driven in. 3-6, and he's going to walk again. So back-to-back walks to start the third. Not what Barrios had in mind. 2 on, nobody out for Bob Randall, the second baseman. And Randall, 220, no homers and 25 driven in. 111, and that's another walk. How about that? 3 consecutive walks to start the inning. And he's barking at the umpire, figuring wants to know where these balls are. But the bases are now loaded with nobody out for Bostock, top of the order. They're playing the infield at double play depth. They need outs. Here's Bostock, 6-3. It's a fly ball right field X, which is Gamble. That's trouble. He's a 4-4. 4 and a 1. That's going to get through for a base hit, and it's actually going to be a base clearing triple. That's going to be a triple for Bostock. Make sure there's no error. It's a 6. It will not be an error, but it's a triple for Bostock because Gamble couldn't get to it. It's going to go into the gap for a triple. 3-0 Twins here in the third. Now the infield, they're going to go ahead and bring the infield in. They want to try to choke that runoff. And there's Smalley, the batter. 4-10, switch hitter batting left. It's a ballpark single check, and I forgot to mention that it's 9 and 2 are the single and home run checks. So 9 for a single and 2 for a home run. I forgot to write that in. All right, Smalley is a lefty, so it's a 1-9 for a single. It's 17, so he's actually going to line it to second, and the runner will have to hold. So that's 1 away, and that brings up Carew. Not a good prospect to face with the runner at third and less than 2 outs. But they're going to go ahead and pitch to him. Nothing on the 20. Here's Carew. 1-8 for Carew, and he hits a single. There's a clutch there, but it's not 2 outs, so there's not a clutch situation. The single will be valid. And Rod Carew, an RBI single. It's 4-0 Twins. And Carew's thinking he's getting froggy, thinking he's going to get a jump here, so he's going to try it. 2 through 6 or a 9 gets him a jump. That's a 5. He's got a jump. So he starts as a 15. Barrios is a +1. Essien's a 0, so that makes it a 16. Subtract 2 for being held. So it's a 1-14, and he will make it. 16, he got caught. So Rod Carew caught stealing, a rare caught stealing. He's in the replay, he's got 39 stolen bases. That's the 16th time he's been caught. So that is out number 2, and it clears the bases for Glenn Adams. I don't know why I rolled the 20 when the bases were clear. That didn't make any sense, did it? All right, 1-7 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. You play 2 games in a row, sometimes that gets you a little punchy, particularly when the first game goes extra innings. All right, so we go to the bottom of the third, 4-0 Twinks. And Don Kessinger, the third baseman, will lead things off for the Sox. Kessinger on the replay. Limited duty. Only 64 at bats. He's hitting .281, no homers, and 7 driven in. 2-9 for Kessinger. He's going to pop it up to Smalley at short. 1 away, and that brings up catcher Jim Essien. Essien checks in on the replay. .278, 12 homers, and 48 driven in. 5-12 against Thormasgard is a ground ball first base X. That's Carew, Rodney Carew, and he checks in defensively as a 2-E11. 2 and a 14, he'll get to that. E11 and an 8 should be fine all day long. E11 and an 8. Oh, I'll take that back. How about that? E11 and an 8 is an error. So Rod Carew makes a rare error. E3 to 1 base error, and Essien will reach. Brings up Ralph Garr. Nothing on the 20. 4-7, and that's a single 2 stars for Thormasgard, off of Thormasgard. So back come the Sox, hopefully. Try to keep it a close game. Runners now at the corners with 1 out. Garr will be held. He will not try to steal. And here's Chet Lemon. 2, a possible balk or a pass ball. Now, he has no balk rating, but we could check for a pass ball rating perhaps of Weiniger. And that's what we're checking. So Weiniger pass ball rating is a 2. Oh, no pass ball. All right, we drive on. 6-5, that's a strikeout. Big strikeout for Thormasgard. Out number 2, trying to get around that Carew error. And here's George Orta, runners at the corners and 2 outs. Nothing. Go to Orta. 2-3 for Orta, and he flies to right to end the inning. Had he done it with less than 2 outs, it could have been a possible sac fly, but runners at the corners and 1 out, and they do not score. That's the story of the year for the Sox. All those left on base come back to bite them. That and errors defensively. Those are the 2 things that have killed them all year. All right, now we've got Barrios out to face Butch Weiniger. Weiniger 3-8 for Weiniger, and that's a ground ball to Spencer at first. He will put it away. 1 down. Brings up Rich Childs. 1-2 for Childs, and that's a single center field. So Rich Childs, a 1-out single. He's an E-steal. He will not be held. And that brings up the aforementioned Randy Bass in his first game with the Twins. Nothing going on there. He actually got a walk his first time up. One of 3 straight walks issued by Barrios. 3-7 though. 3-7 is a fly ball to center. I know it's faint, hard to read there, but it is a fly ball to center. 2 down. And that's going to bring up Cubbage with 2 outs and a runner at first. Nothing happening there. Cubbage. 3-7 for Cubbage is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Twins. as they were hoping to get that done, but they couldn't get it done. So we go to the bottom of the fourth still, but they still have a 4-0 lead, which is about where they were last game until all heck broke loose in the ninth. All right, so Oscar Gamble will lead things off. Gamble facing Thormasgard. 5-5, and that's a fly ball to left field. Handled easily by Mr. Adams out there, one away. Here's Jim Spencer. 4-10, and that is a fly ball to right. Disco Dan. I'm sorry, Childs makes the play. Disco Dan played the last game. All right, so Stillman, the DH. 3-10 for Stillman, and that's a line out right to Mike Cubbage at third to end the inning. So a very quick 1-2-3 inning. Go the Sox. We go to the fifth. Still 4-0. Barrios back out, and he will be facing Bob Randall. 6-6, and that's a line out right to Kessinger. One away on that line out. And that brings up Lyman Bostock. 6-8 lefty. 6-8's a fly to right, and that's going to be handled by Mr. Gamble. He'll get to that one and puts it away. 2 down for Roy Smalley. Smalley lined to second twice. 1-5. He's going to strike out this time, so rough start for Roy Smalley. But not for the Twins. They still lead at 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Sox in danger of dropping the first 2 games of the series after winning 5 of 6 from California. So here's Bannister. He will lead it off. He struck out his first time. 2-8. He's going to strike out again. So Bannister having a rough go of it. Here's third baseman Kessinger. 4-2. Switch hitter batting left. He's going to ground it to second, Bob Randall. Johnny on the spot makes the play. 2 up, 2 down for Jim Essien. 2-6 for Essien. And he's got some hits in column 2, but he found a pop out to short. So Smalley puts it away. And Thormasgard pitching like Frank Viola or somebody. He's 5 shutout frames, and he came into the game with a record of 8-18 and a 4.71 ERA. So shows you anything can happen. It shows you kind of what the funk with the F-U-N-K, in case somebody's asking. The funk that the Sox are in case anybody thought I said something else. All right, here's Rod Carew. 2-6 for Carew. He's going to ground it to Jim Spencer at first, one away. So it held Carew in check pretty well, but those walks, all three walks scored. It really killed him. 2-9, a lot of hits in column two, but he found a fly ball to left. And that's put away out there by Ralph Garr. 2 up, 2 down for Butch Weiniger. 3-7, and that's a 1 for a single. Anything else, he lines to order. And he will line to order to end the inning. So Barrios, except for those 3 walks, has pitched pretty well, but not getting any run support to help him out. So Thormasgard has a fatigue rating of 5, but he hasn't given up anything, so he's still good to go fatigue-wise. He'll keep going. 6-3, lefty, fly ball, left field X. That is Mr. Adams. And Mr. Adams checks in defensively. Glenn Adams checks in as a 4 E11, so not very good. This could drop. 4 and a 4, and it will drop. A 4 and a 4 checks in as a double. So that'll be a double for Ralph Garr. Now is there going to be an error on top of it? That is a 12, and he's an E11. Nope, there's a 13, but no 12. But it will be a leadoff double for Ralph Garr to start the 6th. And now we need to keep an eye on Thormasgard for that fatigue. Here's Lemon. Nothing. Garr will be held. 6-11. 6-11, that's a ballpark home run chance, but it's not a good one. It's only 1-2. So Comiskey not playing well today for the Power. And that's going to end up being a fly ball to left field for 1 away. So Lemon cannot get it done. Brings up George Orta. Nothing. Here's Orta. 6-7 against a lefty. It's all these bases to get a hit. It's a ground ball, second base X. And that is Bob Randall. And Randall checks in 2E15 as a second baseman. 2 and a 20, he'll get to that. E15 and a 4 should be okay. E15, yep, it's okay. Ground ball to second, we'll move him to third, but now there's 2 outs. 2 outs, and it's up to Oscar Gamble to get it done. Nothing on the 20. Here's Gamble. 1-6. And that's a ballpark home run chance again, but again, it's only 1-2, so Comiskey not helping him out. And that's going to end up being a fly ball to left field to end the inning. So Thormisgaard has pitched 6 shutout frames. Unbelievable. And Sox trail 4-0 as we go to the top of the 7th. And we'll see Barrios has a 7 for his fatigue rating. So there is a chance that he could worry about fatigue to start this or during this inning. So we got to keep an eye on that. And leading things off will be Rich Childs. 3-8 for Childs, and he grounds to first. Spencer's got it. One away, Spencer for hire. Here's Randy Bass. He has walked and fly to center. That's a 5-2. That's another ballpark home run chance, but again, only a 1-2 will get it done. And it's an 11, so he will fly to right. 2 down for Mr. Mike Cubbage, third baseman. Mr. Cubbage. 1-7 for Cubbage, and that's a ground ball to Spencer to end the inning. So Barrios has, since that first inning, he's really done well for himself. It's just he's run into some issues, obviously, with the walks, and then giving up that one triple that really cost him. So that's what happens. So now we go to the bottom of the 7th, and Thormisgaard still in there because he hasn't given up much of anything. So we'll see how that goes. But of course, it's the bottom of the 7th in Wrigley, so that can only mean one thing, and that means Harry Carey. So maybe the magic of Harry, it helped him out in the previous game. Let's see if we can do it this game. We have Jim Spencer to lead things off. Spencer's 0 for 2, 2-5, and he's going to strike out. So Harry didn't help him there, that's for sure. There's Royal Stillman. They're making Thormisgaard look like a Cy Young candidate. 3-11 is a walk, so that will help a little bit. Get a bait. You need base runners when you're down 4-0. Stillman will not be held. Here's Bannister. 17-0 going on. Bannister 3-10, and that's a good sign. 3-10, 1-4 is a double, 5-20 is a single. 2 stars both ways. So that will be a double. Alan Bannister doubles, and Stillman will go to third. Puts runners at second and third with 1 away for Don Kessinger. And now the bullpen for the Twins is loosening, getting some activity down there. And they are looking at the left-hander Tom Bergmeyer is loosening in the bullpen for the Twins. So Tom Bergmeyer is loosening. Kessinger is up. The infield's going to play back because they got a 4-0 lead. They want to get an out. Nothing doing there. So a ground ball would score a run most likely. Kessinger 3-12. But as soon as I say that, he hits a low max to first base, and that will be a double play. So 3, a line out to first. Lines it out to Carew, and Carew throws it over to second to double off Bannister, who was sleeping. 3-6, that's a double play. And boy, you talk about a Lomax killer. There it is, right there. That 3-12 was the Lomax killer for Kessinger. And that just thwarts anything that Harry Carey or the Sox have thought about. And Thormisgaard still hanging in there. So here's Barrios. He's still hanging in there. His fatigue is a 7, but in the 7th he gave up nothing, so he's still good. Here's Bob Randall. 6-3 on Barrios. It's a fly ball right field X. Again, that is Gamble. He's a 4. 4-1. That's going to drop, and I think it's going to be a triple. Let me double check this. A 4-1 is going to be a triple. So that will drop in for a triple for Bob Randall. And let's see, on the E4, a 7. Nope, no error, but it will be a leadoff triple for Bob Randall. And, of course, now the infield is going to have to come in. They have no choice. For Lyman Bostock, nothing on the 20. 6-5, ground ball shortstop X. That is Bannister. He's a 4. 4 and a 6. That's going to get through for a base hit, almost guaranteed, and it does. Check his error. He's an E48, and that's an 11. That could be trouble too, I think. Let's see here. So it's a single 1 star, but the runner's already on third. So E48 and an 11. Nope, there's a 12, but no 11. No error, but it will be an RBI single for Bostock. And the Twins now take a 5-0 lead, and I think that's going to be it for Mr. Barrios. They're going to call it a day for Barrios. He will exit, and they will turn to Mr. Don Kirkwood, a right-hander. And on the replay, Kirkwood is 0-1 with an 8.39 ERA, so really struggling, but that's who you use in these games. When you're down 5-0 late, you use strugglers, to use a history maker term, struggler. All right, so Roy Smalley is up. Bostock, he will be held, but he's not going to think about going anywhere. Not with the score being 5-0. That's a 1, so Kirkwood's going to automatically throw a wild pitch because he's up to a 20. So he comes into the game and christens the game with a wild pitch. Nothing there. Smalley, 110. Ground ball pitcher B, that'll freeze the runner. So there's 1 away. Runner still at second. And here's Carew. You could walk Carew, but what fun is that? 9, nothing there. 3-9 for Carew. It's a single 2 stars, and that will be another run. That run is charged to Barrios. You can close the book now on Barrios. He's given up 6 runs, all earned. So rough outing for him as well. Carew will be held, but will not try. Not with the score being 6-0. Here's Adams. 3-6 for Adams. Struck him out. Out number 2. And that brings up Butch Weiniger and the Sundance Kid. Nothing happening there. 3-10, and that's a ground ball to Orta to end the inning, but 2 runs come in. It is now 6-0 Twins as we go to the 8th. And Thormasgaard, they're going to go ahead and release Thormasgaard and bring in Bergmeyer. So Tom Bergmeyer, a left-hander, Tom Bergmeyer, will be on. And on the replay, Bergmeyer is 5-2 with a 6.53 ERA and 4 saves. And Jim Essien will be the first batter he will face. 1-9 for Essien. He flies to center, 1 away. So the Sox hoping to have California back soon because they were blitzing them, but they're not doing anything against the Twins. I don't know why I rolled the 20. Don't have to. Gar, 4-7. Single. Now we will have to roll the D20 coming up. Gar will not go anywhere. He will be held, but he's not going to go anywhere. Chet Lemon, nothing doing. 1-5 for Lemon against a lefty is a ballpark home run chance, but again, it's only 1-2. So that's really hurting their opportunities for power. 2 down. Brings up George Orta, lefty on lefty against Bergmeyer. 2-9. Ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. Randall will put it away. So Twins looking to win the first 2 games of the series and really push the Sox down into 4th place all by their lonesome. We go to the 9th, 6-0, and it will be Rich Childs to lead it off. 4-8. Sorry I couldn't get you a closer game. 4-8, 1-14 is a single. And it's 19, so that's going to be a ground ball to Spencer. 1 away. Randy Bass, batter. 2-3 for Bass. That's a ground ball to second base. Kind of hard to read on that computer printout, but it's fairly legible, but I was able to see it. Mike Cubbage, 5-9, and that's a in-home run chance. He does have normal, so 1-18, and Mike Cubbage is gone deep. And he does. Mike Cubbage, home run. It's 7-0 Twins. And for Cubbage, on the season, that is home run number 14. 7-0 Twins. Here's Randall. 4-9, and that's a strikeout to end the inning, mercifully. 7-0. We go, bottom of the ninth. And Bergmeyer, looking to finish things off, will be facing Gamble. Spencer and Stillman, all lefties, but they're going to get some pinch hitters, I think. They'll let Gamble hit, but I think they're going to get a pinch hitter for Stillman at least, the lefty. So they're going to bring in Wayne Nordhagen to pinch hit for Stillman as the DH. So we're going to have Gamble, Spencer, and Nordhagen will be the three in order. So Nordhagen will hit for Stillman and stay in the game to play DH if it miraculously goes to the 10th and the Sox score 7 runs, which will never happen. But it's a disclaimer. There you go. All right, Oscar Gamble, lefty on lefty. 3-8, and Gamble strikes out. So Oscar Gamble on the strikeout. Could have used Lamar Johnson, but he would have grounded to second, so it wouldn't have mattered. Here's Spencer. He's got a pretty good column against lefties. 1-8, he found the column 1, but the wrong number. 1-8's a walk. And, of course, he will not go anywhere. He won't even be held. Here's Nordhagen. 6-5 against Bergmeyer. Ground ball shortstop X, that's Roy Smalley. And Smalley checks in 3 E36. 3-18, he'll get to that, and it could be a double play. 3-18 will be a game-ending double play unless this is an error on an E36. E36 and a 12. E36, nope, there's a 13, but no 12, so it will be a double play. Nordhagen hits into the 6-4-3 DP to end the ball game, and the Sox get shellacked 7-0 by the Twins. Paul Thormesgaard looked like Cy Young out there, and Barrios will take the tough luck loss. 7-0 your final. Sox now drop to 70. Let me get the right thing here. 75-69 for the Sox. So as I flip over to start the next game on another day, 75-69 for the Sox, and the Twins improve now to 78-67. So that's where we are there. Goltz and Kravik would be the next game. That's going to be offline. But 7-0 the final. For anybody that came in late, I did play the 11th inning of game 143 in the beginning of this video, so you can go back and check that out if you want to see the ending of that. And of course, it's probably more entertaining than what these 9 innings were right here. So, like I said, sorry I couldn't give you some more better, a more competitive game, say the least. And this one actually could have fit the full game on a recorder because it's only been 38 minutes, whereas the other game took like 50 minutes or more because it just kept going and going like the Energizer Bunny. All right, so that's going to do it from here on a Wednesday. Sox lose their second in a row after winning 5 of 6 from California. They're in the midst of a 11-game homestand. These first 2 games, though, they're 0-2 on their homestand. So they got 9 games left to play, and fortunately for them, the Twins only twice more than Oakland and California again before hitting the road for the final road trip, which goes to Seattle and Minnesota. And then they come home to play Seattle to finish the last 3 games of the season. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody's doing well on this Wednesday and enjoying the hobby as far as real baseball goes. With all the COVID stuff, you never know when that season's going to be axed. The Marlins are already, in deep doo-doo with that. So I guess, watch it, but don't get too enthralled because the plug could be pulled at any moment. But the good thing is, COVID or no COVID, we've got tabletop baseball, whether it's me, whether it's Earl, whether it's Tony, whether it's RJL, whether it's Anthony from Bleacher Bum Gaming, whether it's Rob, whether it's Al Red Sox fan, whether it's Uncle Ron, Dave Gardner, a whole bunch of different guys, Tribe fan. I mean, I'm hoping Dave Little. I'm hoping I'm not missing anybody. Of course, you've got the stalwarts like after heard the review, and Steve Tower. He's going to be out there playing some games as well. So, like I said, if you don't like what's on TV, you can always check out YouTube and somebody's going to probably be doing a video somewhere on a board game, whether it be sports or something else. If you like non-sports stuff, ID Jester's got plenty of award games out there. You can check him out. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that. And like I said, sorry it wasn't a closer game. Twins shellacked the Sox 7-0. And the Sox will try to rebound with their ace, Ken Kravick, going in the next game against Dave Gulps. Should be an outstanding pitching matchup. Kravick is going to come into that game 14-2 with a 2.47 ERA. And Gulps will be coming in 20-10 with a 3.30 ERA. Maybe that's the game I should have done the video on. In fact, I still might do a video on it as an upload. I don't know. But it's such a great pitching matchup. I hate to miss it or hate to not show it on video. Probably should have done that one instead of this one because this one was pretty rough. All right, that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday wherever you are. If you're catching this later, whatever day of the week you're watching it. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.